Today we're here to talk about potatoes. Potatoes aren't a cooking technique. This is an introduction to cooking techniques class, but potatoes aren't a cooking technique. But we're going to examine the ingredient today because think about the wide range of techniques that you can use on a potato. You can bake a potato, you can deep fry a potato, you can saute a potato, you can simmer a potato, you can poach a potato, you can roast a potato. You can use just about any cooking technique on a potato. So a potato is good practice for cooking techniques, right? Makes sense. We're going to categorize things like we always do. There are two types of potatoes. This is going to blow your mind. Two types of potatoes. You wouldn't think there were two types of potatoes, right? There's just one type of potato. The first type of potato is a waxy or new potato. A waxy or new potato. A waxy or new potato has high moisture content. Has high moisture content. Has a high starch content. Waxy or new potato, high moisture content, high sugar content, not starch, didn't think that sounded right, and a low starch content. Waxy or new potatoes, high in moisture, high in sugar, low in starch. Usually small, small round potatoes, a thinner skin usually. New potatoes are less mature potatoes, thinner skin. The flesh inside, white, sometimes a tint of red or purple. White, red, or purple, thin skin, new potato. Thing about having a high moisture content, a high starch content, and a low starch content and a high sugar content is the fact that waxy or new potatoes hold their shape well. This is an important concept for a chef because a potato that holds its shape well, you're going to want if you put it in soups. Let's say you're doing some kind of soup with little cubed potatoes. You don't want to use a potato that turns into mashed potatoes in your soup, right? Because then it disintegrates away. If you're going to cook a little square of potato, you want that to keep its shape, right? So this is a potato that we use for boiling. Of course, we know simmer, not boiling. Don't boil potatoes. This is a potato that's more often cooked in a moist fashion. This is something that is put in soups, salads, no, deep frying. The reason that you don't use a waxy or a new potato is because of the high sugar content. You put sugar in a deep fryer, it turns caramel brown, right? And when you take a item with high sugar, a potato with high sugar, put it in the deep fryer, you get these black streaks from it. So you're never going to see new potato French fries, right? Because of the type of potato it is, waxy or new potato. Okay? First type, waxy or new potato. Hey. Second type of potato is a mealy or starchy potato. Two types of potato. Waxy or new, mealy or starchy. These potatoes, as you would imagine, have a high starch content. High starch in a mealy or starchy potato. Low moisture content. Drier potato. Low sugar content. Pretty much just the opposite of the waxy or the new potato. This is where our russets come in, our Idaho potatoes, our baking potato. This kind of potato. And you guys know, I don't have to introduce you to them. This is a thicker skin on this potato than there is on this potato. These grow much bigger than these do. The color of the flesh inside this potato, different than the color of the flesh inside this potato. These are your russets, Idahos, Yukon Gold, things like that. Long, irregularly shaped, generally rough skin, thicker skin. This is ideal for baking. Ideal for baking because, again, it won't hold its shape. Won't hold shape. As opposed to the waxy or new potato, which does hold its shape. So if you want to do a baked potato in the oven, and we bake the russet potato and we bake the new potato, and you know, you make an X in it and you do the potato surprise, it's a surprise. And you put your sour cream and your butter and whatnot, you mash it all up with a fork, right? You get your own mashed potato, but it mashes up with a fork. It enables you to do it. If you were to try and do the same thing with a new potato, you'd be hard pressed to find one probably as big as this, but you try and mash them up, and again, because of the different content, the low starch, the high moisture, it's just not going to mash as well. This is much better for baking. This is much better for mashed potatoes. This is a better preparation for something that you do not want it to hold its shape. This is the one we make French fries out of. This is good for deep frying. Check, deep frying. Now you say, oh boy, it won't hold its shape well, but it's good for deep frying? That doesn't seem to make sense. You know, you'd probably want the potato that held its shape for the French fries, for the sticks, you know. Why is this? Well, the new or waxy potato, like I said, high sugar content, and the sugar puts black streaks through it. The advantage of a mealy or starchy potato is the low sugar content. And that's the reason that these are better for deep frying, because of the sugar content, not because of the starch or moisture content. Understand? They hold their way together. They hold their item together. Exactly. You got it. So, I mean, really, you can tell by the shape, by the thinness of the skin. You've seen chef potatoes also. They're small like this, white ones. That's a new potato. That's a waxy or new potato. Idahos, russets, Yukon Golds, thicker skin, irregular shape, bigger, mealy or starchy potato. Okay? Two types of potatoes.